Thank you for stopping at this channel. Well, a new opportunity just opened, and that is opportunity to join this channel as a member. I encourage you to click on the join button and join the channel. Your membership will bring a lot of support and encouragement to continue to produce content that will be very valuable to you. All right, so today we want to look at Wireshark. We've had a previous tutorial on it, but we're going deeper in this particular tutorial. We want to see how you can use Wireshark to analyze packets, to detect whether your application is vulnerable or not, if you are a developer, and if you are an ethical hacker, how you can use Wireshark in hacking, and also whether you are system admin. This lesson is intended to show how you can look at your network. I say network system admin. If you are a network admin, how you can look at your network to see where there is a bottleneck or where you need to move things around. All right, so and what host is talking to what host? Maybe you have just configured your firewall and you want to see whether the rules are well configured. Wireshark can help you determine that. It will reveal the traffic that is flowing in and out, the inbound and outbound traffic. So you can actually determine whether the traffic you want to restrict, whether they are already restricted by the rule or not. So let me bring Wireshark up. Okay, Wireshark is up now, and you can see that we have different interfaces here to select from. Any is if you want Wireshark to capture traffic from all the network interfaces within that same network. So you use any, and for Ethernet or specific interface, then you use MOS3. So, and you see the one for Bluetooth. This also is for Ethernet. Okay, I'm going to bring up my Firefox first so that one will start loading. So you can see that as soon as I click on that, this kicked off. So let's select any. Select the interface you want to use, and then you can click on the Start Capturing Packets button, which is this blue shark fin. Okay, so it has started capturing packets. So I'm going to hurry to this channel, this browser and type HTTP, not HTTPS. Test. Okay, it's popped up there already. So test php.vulweb.com. Okay, so we have sent a request and it has loaded for us. Then say welcome to our page. Let me click on your cart. It says error, you are not logged on. To log on, please visit login page. So I click on login page, and you can see here it says you can also sign up here. Sign up disabled. Please use the username test and the password test. Now you can see this site is intentionally designed for testing, training in vulnerability scanning, vulnerability detection and things like that. So it says this is not a real shop. This is an example PHP application which is intentionally vulnerable to web attacks. It is intended to help you test Acutinex. It also helps you understand how developer errors and bad configuration may let someone break into your website. You can use it to test other tools and your manual hacking skills as well, which we're doing now. We're trying to sharpen hacking skills. Look for potential SQL injection, cross-site scripting, cross-site request forgery, and more. So you can use this site for testing, but don't use any site that you are not authorized to. So we should even have stopped this. Okay, so we have this. Okay, let me go back now. See, we have 588 there. Let's try and log in. Test. Okay, so let's log in. Okay, so you can see it says test 1 2 3 test. So here is where you can edit name, but that's brought up. If you want to update, this is where you update, but we're not going to need to update. So I'll go back to our Wireshark. So from 588 we now have 625. It's still going. So I'll stop the capture now. Okay, we have stopped the capture at 627. So we have the 627 here. Okay, this is frame 1. This is the display for frame 1. If you look at this size, you see the raw hex value here. You can see. So let's say frame 1. What we want to do is, since we're in HTTP, we log in into a HTTP application, HTTP server. So we want to see if we can trace the password and the username we input, because it is not expected that these credentials will be encrypted since it is HTTP. So it means that it's going to transport that packet in plain text. So this is the time, delta time, frame number 1. This one is just for for us to get familiarized with all this before we look for the one that we actually need. Okay. Linux cooked. You can see packet type sent by us 4. Link layer address type Ethernet. Link layer address. That tells you that Wireshark operates mainly at layer 2 of OSI model, but it can capture and analyze packets from across the entire spectrum of OSI model. That is from 2 to 7, the entire spectrum with the exception of layer 1, which is the physical layer, where you have the electric bits. So it operates at layer 2. That's Wireshark. I think that information is important, that you know at what layer does it operate. So identification, and here you can see the source. This IPv4 source is 10.0.2.15 and destination is 34.107.221.82. So you've seen the destination IP for this, for frame 1, and that frame 1 will be what? That's for Mozilla Firefox, because that's the, so we just leave that one, and let's look here. This is the number of the frame, the time, the source. Let me scroll back up. The source, this is destination, so you can see the destination. Then the protocol, what protocol is involved in transmitting traffic for that frame. It's TCP, DNS, so you can see it. Then next is the length of the packets. This one is 56, this one is 62, this one is 95. So what is the information? So you can see the information here. You can see 80, that's port 80. Acknowledge sequence ACK1, and the window. Act on scene segments. So this is the information. Okay, now what we need to do is, the one more thing before we start hunting for the password and the username. Let's go to statistics. Let's click on conversation, and here you can actually see at a glance your IPv4 and what hosts are involved in this communication. So you see the address, that's the source address. Address A is the source address. Address B is the destination. You can see it. So we see it like that. But as you see it like this, you won't know what sites are involved, right? So if you, let me click on this. Here you can see the ports. Here we only see the IP and the IP for the source and the IP for the destination, and we see packets, 90 packets. This one, for this communication, it was 16 packets that were involved. And you know that if 16 packets are sent, they go individually, but when they get to the destination, they reassemble. And same with these 90 packets, and this one is 135 packets. So you can see the bytes, the packets A to B and B. Okay, this is A to B, and the bytes, let's see, and packet B to A. So it is A to B plus B to A that gives you the total number of packets for each transaction you see here. You can see it, and it will tell you the duration, the bits per second, the speed at which the transaction took place. So here for the 90, you see packet A sent, as I said, packet A, IPA, which is source, sent 45 packets, and the 45 packets were responded to and returned by packet B. So you can see the arrow B to A, that's B back to A. So that's how you get the number of packets that were sent. Alright, so let's say TCP 22. So here you can see the ports that are involved. So this one is not into detail about the bytes and detailed information like that. It gives us the ports that are involved, the packets. Okay, it has bytes, then stream ID, packets, you can see, then restarts. Okay, so I'll go back now. Let's say USB, there should not be anything there. Yes, nothing there because there's no USB. Okay, let's go back to this one. So since we don't know, we only see this like this, we only see IP address. The IP address in itself, we cannot just attach it to any host. So, but if you click on name resolution, you can see that it has been transformed from IP address to host name now. So this is 1.1.1.1. that's how. Then you have this, you go, then you have test PHP. So this is the, so if you uncheck this, you see the IP again. So that is about that. So let's uncheck it and let's go out of here. Let's go back to our packets and let's begin to scroll down. Instead of scrolling down, what we do, let's do HTTP. So with that, we have filtered all the HTTP protocols. Let me take it away. Maybe you did not notice before. You see, we have TCP, DNS, TCP, DNS, HTTP, and you can see on and on. And we have TLS version 1.2. Okay, but now when we put HTTP to filter it, so out of 627 we have 13, which is 2.1% are HTTP protocol, that use HTTP protocol. So we can now begin to look for our password and username. We want to see if it's going to be displayed and if it's going to be in plain text. Okay, so here you see the get, which is what? A request, and the response is okay. So let's continue like that. TCP previous segments not captured. Let's continue to scroll down. This is cats.php. Remember, I clicked on cats, and I did not log in. So because of that, it gave us the login form, which is this. So you can go into the login form and see the various fields. So HTTP, so you can see test php vonweb.com, and it's actually, once you look through all this, it reveals a lot of information. It will reveal the server, the nature of the server, and other things like that. So now let's move on to, you see, login, then HTTP 200, that's okay as well. But then here, this is where we need to pay attention. This is a post request sent to the server, okay, from example server .local to test php.vonweb. So the length is what? 588. So user info. It says application /www form. It's okay. So that's exactly what we're looking for. So let's probe this. So that's frame 596. Let's come here, and you can see 596. Let's take it step by step. Interface, any, yes, it's any we selected. So Okay, so marked row. Okay, let's continue. The next, like we've said earlier, link layer and the internet protocol version 4, source and destination, and transmission control protocol. You see, source, the port is this, the destination port is 80, and sequence is arc is 1, meaning that it went through. Okay, so source port is this, which we set here. Acknowledgements, flag, HTTP. So this is the HTTP. Okay, so if you look up here, you see this application slash, and if you look down here, you see it right here. So that's exactly what we're looking for. So let me close this one up so that we can have a good grasp of what is in that particular form. Okay, so I'm going to click on this now, the drop down for that, and here you can see right here, form item, uname equal test. Remember we use test, and form item pass equal, pass means password, uname means username, test. Okay, so let's open each of them and see what. Then we've seen what we needed. That's the most important thing. Key is uname, which is this, and value is test. The value means the value that is supplied for this key. Username is test. Then this also, like the username, key, pass, value, test. So you can see that it is just in the open like that, sent in plain text. Meanwhile, if you have not subscribed, subscribe. If you have not liked the video, why don't you go ahead and like the video now? All right. So, and don't forget that you can join the membership of this channel. Click on the join button. All right, so we continue now. If you are testing an application, this is what you do. You can just use HTTP to fish out if there is any traffic that is running HTTP, and you do know that you can try that on other things as well. Okay, you can also try things like TCP dot ports equal, you can see 22. Let's see if there's any. So there is none. 21, there is none. But if you say 443, you can see So you can look at your network traffic and check whether certain ports are open, whether they are captured, because the captured packets may be voluminous, so you don't need to continue to scroll through the whole thing. For example, if you have about 10,000, you won't be scrolling through. Just use the filter and let's do another thing. So IP dot address equal what's the address for this particular one? Where's the destination? Just pick one address here. What frame is this? Frame 82. Okay. No, I don't want Google. I want another one. Let me see. Okay. Let's see what IP is this. Okay. It's still also Google 209. Let's begin to type it. 209.85.114.106. So did I type wrong thing? I must have typed wrong thing. Okay. Let me remove the IP address. Obviously that means I did not type the right thing because of the lag. Let me say again. Source and destination. Okay. Let me try this one now. IP.addr from 34.107.221.82. IP.address 34.82 was, oh, I see, sorry about that, I put only one equal sign instead of two. That's the reason. Okay, so we're able to filter this particular IP address out. So everywhere the IP address appears, it will highlight it. You can see, and that is 72 out of 627. And if I put the source IP, that will even be more, because that is interacting with other IPs there. And you can use your Go. If that is analyzed, you can see, or next packets. So, all right, so you have seen how you can use Wireshark to fish out or detect whether your environment or the target is vulnerable or not. So obviously this one now is vulnerable because it transports sensitive data with an open text file. So that means it is susceptible to man-in-the-middle attack, and that is insecure way of